One of the things that I love is that two films idea of your life. And there's like two stories you can tell. One that is safe and full of regret, and one that is risky and full of pride and joy.
She might be a bit mad and she might just go off, so I'm going to leave her to do her thing. She likes to be with me, so yeah. This is all very professional and very new for me, and I've never really stood on stage and done anything like this, but it's actually really lovely to go after Ian because I'm kind of at like the beginning end of not what he did exactly, because I'm not a drummer and I don't think that's my path, but at the beginning end of kind of all of that. So the talk I'm giving today is about the life-changing magic of being brave, which is what I feel like I'm doing now. It's all a bit scary, but it's good. This is a picture of me that my mum uploaded on the day that she dropped me off at university. I was dropped off at the University of Leeds on September 22nd, 2014. And yeah, that was my little box room, and I was there for a while. But then this was the photo she uploaded this year. I dropped out of university, and I don't regret it. But I dropped out of university about a year ago now. And it was the best thing I did, but at the time it was a really hard decision for me to make. And university can be an incredible thing, and I actually made 5 of my closest friends there. But I was also okay with leaving. And I think that's what I want to talk to you about today, is kind of, you're going to have, each and every one of you are going to have these weird life journeys that you're going to go on individually. It's going to be hard to make choices that you need to make. You're going to not know where you're going. And kind of the society we live in makes these paths that we can go down. And sometimes it's scary because you're like, you have to make a choice to get in one of those paths. And actually, maybe you don't know if you want to be there. And I know that I chose my university degree when I was 16 in a careers office. And they asked me what I wanted to do. And I said, I have no idea. I like presenting. I'm into kind of entertainment and media. And they said, we'll put you on journalism. And then after 2 more years at school and a year off, I ended up at university doing that degree. And I had changed so much, my interest had changed so much. I spent a year feeling like maybe I wasn't supposed to be there. And on my second week at university, I was kind of feeling into it. I had a dream, and I'm quite a spiritual person now, but I wasn't at the time. And I had a dream. And this dream was, I was lying in my bed, and I just saw this orange ball. This is no joke. I freaked out when I woke up. There was this orange ball, and it came out of my chest, and it moved out the window. And it was like, follow me. And I woke up the next morning, and from that point on, for the rest of the year, I was totally depressed because I knew I wasn't supposed to be there, but I didn't know where else I was supposed to be going. I just knew I wasn't supposed to be there, and it was such a deep feeling. I had great friends, I had a great environment, Leeds was a wicked uni, my course was amazing, but it didn't matter because I knew I wasn't supposed to be there. And I think that's an issue for a lot of young people, because maybe you don't know exactly where you want to be going or where you're supposed to be going, but you might not feel totally comfortable where you are right now. And I'm just here to say that's a totally okay thing, and actually sometimes to dive into the unknown is the best thing you can do as long as your heart's in it. So my bag's outside and it's got loads of pieces of papers in that I was supposed to give to everybody. Well, no, it's okay actually. We don't need to write these down, but I'm going to ask you guys all to think about your biggest dream right now in your life. It could be getting great exam results, or don't worry about it. I think I'll just, thank you. It could be getting great exam results, or it could be being a musician, or it could be standing on stage and speaking to millions of people. It doesn't matter what it is, but I need to ask you to do 2 things before you come up with these ideas. The first thing I need you to do, I need you to dream really big, okay? So I need each and every one of you to dream as big as you want. Go crazy with this. Like, if you could have one thing in your life, what would it be? Just bear with me. The second thing I need you to do, I need you not to be scared to admit what you want to be. Because I spent years, most of my life, being terrified to admit that I wanted to sing. And that's why it was nice to go after Ian, because I've just started singing and I've just started recording. And it's been amazing, but it's still terrifying. And I think there are these things that are so raw that we love doing, each and every one of us in our own spaces. And if every single one of us could be doing those things, that would be really amazing for the world. I think the world needs it. So that's what I'm here to ask you to do, basically. So they're the two things. So I just want you to kind of sit with yourself, and I'll give you guys like 30 seconds, but just sit with yourself and maybe just let it sink in and think about what your biggest dream is. And once you kind of have something, put your hand up. That'd be good, so we know. Don't worry if it takes a while. Just sit with it. Amazing. Have you got any dreams? We've got some dreams happening. Amazing. Yeah? Don't be scared to dream, guys. It's a good thing. Okay. Great. It's actually such a nice thing. It's like people's light bulbs going up for their like journey. That's great. Okay, cool. I'm going to say even if you haven't put your hand up, you've probably got something happening. So the first thing I want to ask you to do is raise your hand if you 100% believe you can achieve this dream. Nice. This is a good place to do this because we've probably got some pretty good people. Amazing. Not everyone, though. Second, raise your hand if this dream involves creativity. Okay, nice. Still half, not everyone. So, recently I kind of re-looked up the definition of creativity because I came to this point where I realized that some people are told they're creative and a lot of people are told they're not creative. And the people who are creative can go and dance and kind of create whatever they want to create, and maybe they'll make money and maybe they won't. But the other people kind of have this route and they can just like choose a degree and choose this and choose that and go by this route. But actually, the definition of creativity is just the use of imagination to create something. So raise your hand if you just use your imagination to create something. Pretty much everyone here probably just used their imagination to create something in their head. So I want to tell you all now that we are all creatives, and that is such it's such a myth that there are creatives and there aren't. We are all creatives, and to create is just, I get really passionate about this because I really think that the society we live in has told us that we don't have the ability to create our own lives, and only a certain few manage to, and then they go off and achieve whatever they want to or follow their dreams. And I'm at the beginning of my little path of doing that. But what I've really keyed into is you can create whatever you want to create. And I need to tell you this now, you can create whatever you want to create. Doesn't matter what it is, you can do it. And you don't need like seriously high self-esteem to do it either. You just need to understand that you're a creative, and that's the essence of a human being, is to create and to live through it. So if you've come up with an idea in your head, it is 99% already created because you have the vision, you can see it. The last 1% is called bravery. And I really, really believe this. The last 1% is called bravery. It's happened to me a lot of times in my life where I've had to make decisions. So I could see when I was, just before I dropped out of university, I had all these images in my head of where I wanted to go and what I wanted to do. And it was terrifying because I was like, I'm never going to get there and I will never do these things. But the 1% was bravery, which was actually leaving. And since I've thrown myself into the dark abyss of, oh my God, what am I going to do with my life? I've dropped out of university. There's nothing here for me. Weird things have fallen into place because I was brave. And I have no doubt it is because I was brave. And when I was 15, started a YouTube channel. And I was just speaking about female issues. And I'd always wanted to do it, but I was so scared because when you're 15, I don't know if any of you are 15, but if you are, at the time I felt like everyone would judge me. And I was really, really scared. So I did it, which is very me, and I just posted it on Facebook and turned off my Facebook for the night and went to bed. And I was like, shit, everyone's gonna take the piss out of me, or I'm gonna wake up. And I was just so scared of being judged and looking lame, which looking back, I probably did look a bit lame in that video, but it's okay because it was the beginning of all of this. And I can tell you right now, if I hadn't made that one brave move, I wouldn't be here. So what I've learned so far is really that every time you are brave, your life changes a little bit. And that's, I think, a universal truth. This is an amazing quote by my favorite author, Elizabeth Gilbert, and it says, "Your fear is boring. I can say this with all honesty and authority because I know for a fact that my fear is the most boring thing about me. This is especially true when it comes to living a life of creativity," which we're all doing. Fear is boring because fear only has one thing to say to us, and that thing is stop. And we all have fear. It's a really natural thing. I think the two universal laws are love and fear. So you have it. But the most important thing is not to let fear can be in the car, go on a road trip with fear and love. And let love drive, and fear can have a back seat, but don't let it take the wheel. It can be there and acknowledge it, but like love all the way. And I'm a massive hippie, so I think I never want people to be like, oh yeah, love and peace, it's all good. Really though, don't let fear drive. Let love drive, and you'll end up in the right places. It is imperative for your well-being that you have dreams and that you pursue these dreams. And I think people are really terrified of the word pursue. I know I was, because pursue is like abandon everything, do it, and know exactly what you're doing if you're going to pursue something. But that really isn't the case. I love a bit of Google definition. I looked up the meaning of pursue. And pursue means to follow, continue, or proceed along. And so there's no like abandon everything. There's no like you have to drop everything and just go and know what you're doing. It's just like have the dream and keep proceeding, listen inside, and make choices that help you proceed along that route. But there's no stress, and there shouldn't be any stress. So just allow your dream to be there and keep making decisions that help you move towards it. I was going to give you some last life tips from me. And what I've learned so far, because I'm really just at the beginning. 1, don't let anyone else define what success means for you. So whether it's even your parents, you love them, but this is your success, your definition of success, and it really has to be, because the society you live in, your religion, your culture, your idols, they'll all tell you what success means. Even your friends will tell you that, to be successful at that age is to look this way or to do this. And if you find your own definition of what success means, it doesn't have to be money or fame or a big house or cars, or it can be all of those things. But if you define success for yourself and you choose to make choices and live for yourself, then you can never compare yourself or feel disappointed, because you're totally on your own journey. And I definitely wasn't at your age, so it's amazing you're here. But mine in the last 2 years has been really finding my way onto my own journey. And it's where I've had people around me be like, why are you so chill about what's happening? Or like, you're so jammy, all this stuff kind of works for you and I don't know how it's happening. And the only reason I know that things are falling into place for me where I am is because I was brave. And I made a decision to be brave. But also, it took me years to be brave, and a lot of depression and dark times as well. So don't be scared of that. We need the dark with the light. But if you have any big decisions to make, follow your heart and do that. Number 2, I can't do numbers. Okay, well, we'll just miss one out. 3, I'm trying to think. I don't know what the middle one was, but I'm sure we weren't supposed to have it.
Write everything down.
Yeah, probably that one. So me to have whatever. Okay, 3, the journey will be weird, so trust it. There's no you can't just vision a path and you're like, that's what's going to happen. It won't, so just kind of surrender and keep what you want to do in mind, but also know the journey will be weird and just kind of ups and downs and ups and downs and ups and downs, and that's the way it should be. Life will be waves, so just try and ride them with kind of whatever you want to do in your heart and mind. I'm pretty sure number 2 was that your dreams might change and will change constantly, almost consistently. And for me, I always had one, which was music, and now I'm doing it and acting on it. There's more arising, which is lovely, but they will change, so let them change and be fluid. There's not just one dream, and we don't just have one calling. Some people do, and that's really amazing, but I didn't. Be open to it changing. And this is a really lovely quote by a Dutch philosopher, and it says, life can only be understood backwards, but it must be lived forwards. So a big part of the way I am choosing to live is with trust. I'm not a religious person. I'd say on some levels I'm spiritual, but I don't really know what I believe in. I just know that I'm trusting everything and it seems to be working. So if you're going through a really hard time, just trust. And if you're going through a really good time, trust, but just try and understand that from where I stand now, I can look backwards. I'm standing on the stage. It's really weird. I watched an amazing woman do one of these in an apartment in New York for my birthday last year, and I cried because I was such a depressed place with where I was and that I wasn't doing anything I want to be doing, and I wasn't being inspiring, and I wasn't speaking to people, and now I'm here and it's all really weird. But if I could tell myself then what had happened since, I'd be okay being there. So just know that even if it's not okay now, looking backwards, you'll probably be able to understand it, or I hope you will. And just one thing to leave you with, again, my favorite thing to say, but really every time you are brave, your life changes a little bit. So if you want change, then you've got to choose bravery. Yeah, that's me. Thank you.